From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
There's no crying! There's no crying in baseball!
Toronto Blue Jays fans across Canada may disagree. After a thrilling postseason run, the Blue Jays came up short, losing 5-4 in the 11th inning of Game 7 of the World Series, giving the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers their second straight title. Blue Jays infielder Ernie Clement shared some raw emotion just after the loss.
Ever since the game ended, we've just tried to be around each other and, just show that love, because this is rare in our game to have a team that, really feels for one another and loves each other.
How much does it hurt to get so close? Well, Toronto hasn't won the Fall Classic since 1993. Donald Trump's tariff agenda is set to face a major legal hurdle in the U.S. Supreme Court this week, but no matter the ruling, it will not spare Canada from all of the American president's devastating duties.
The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear arguments Wednesday from businesses and states that say President Donald Trump's use of a national security statute to hit nearly every nation with tariffs is illegal. It was used for both Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs and his fentanyl-related duties. Lawyers representing the businesses say they'll argue that the act was never for tariffs. It also can only be used for unusual and extraordinary threats, which trade deficits are not. But there could be a split ruling, halting the reciprocal tariffs but letting the fentanyl-related duties stand. Kelly Malone, The Canadian Press, Washington.
Meanwhile, the Liberals are gearing up to table their first budget under Prime Minister Mark Carney this week, and political circles are buzzing in Ottawa. Tuesday's budget will be the first fiscal update from the Liberals since the spring election. Since then, U.S. tariffs have hampered the Canadian economy, and the Liberals have promised billions in spending on infrastructure and defense. Sahir Khan of the Institute of Fiscal Studies and Democracy says the budget is not just about projections and balance sheets.
You'd think from the name that this was a budget and a fiscal document, and it's much more than that. It's probably the biggest political event of the year, scheduled one at least, because in this case, it also outlines the government's direction for the upcoming year and beyond.
The minority Liberal government still needs to find another political party to be their dance partner in the House of Commons if they want to get their major spending plan passed. And finally, there looks to be a surge in avian influenza outbreaks in BC's Fraser Valley. This coming as the fall migration season for many birds takes flight. Now, a list published by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency shows that the virus has been detected in 12 commercial poultry flocks in the region. That's over the last 2 weeks. The CFIA says the latest outbreak was detected just yesterday in a flock in the city of Salmon Arm. However, 6 of the other outbreaks are at Chilliwack area farms, and 4 have been tallied in Abbotsford. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the LA Dodgers deflated the hopes of Canadians coast to coast, downing the Toronto Blue Jays 5-4 in extra innings to win the World Series in 7 games. Blue Jays manager John Schneider says it's been a special group of guys.
I think Blue Jay fans for generations are going to remember this team. Not just what we accomplished, but how we went about it.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto was named World Series MVP for the LA Dodgers. Over to the CFL now, where the Montreal Alouettes and the BC Lions punched their tickets to next week's divisional finals. In the East semifinal, the Owls knocked off the visiting Winnipeg Blue Bombers 42-33, while the Lions won the West semifinal with a 33-30 victory over the visiting Calgary Stampeders. And finally, in the NHL, Edmonton topped Chicago 3-2 in overtime. Winnipeg thumped Pittsburgh 5-2. Nashville doubled up on Calgary 4-2. Toronto dispatched Philadelphia 5-2. And Minnesota beat Vancouver by the same 5-2 score. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.